And we were talking about a problem that we had, which is we were discussing what's called a CTR, click-through rate. If any of you have done online advertising with Google or Facebook or something like that, you're familiar probably with a click-through rate. It's the notion of how many people saw something versus how many people engaged with it. And the app that we were working on at the time was not 140 proof. It was called +1. This is long before Google had Google+. And what we were focused on was something we called social analytics. And if you don't know what social analytics is, if you don't know what that means, you might not have been the target customer. What we were trying to do is use this trail of data that we leave as we move through the internet and analyze that data for you. And we chose the platform of Twitter at the time because it was sort of a wide open platform. You could really do anything. The data was free, the data was highly available, and you could do things like mass message thousands of people, and there were really nobody to stop you. You can't do that anymore, so don't go do that business today. But if any of you use Twitter, you're familiar with how much it's a real-time information medium. So what we built at +1 was something we euphemistically called a customer discovery system. And that was sort of code for a way to parse the fire hose of Twitter data, massive amounts of tweets in real time, and identify certain users based on criteria like who they followed or things that they had tweeted. What we would do is when we found someone we thought would like our application, +1, we thought they would be interested in social analytics, we would send them a message. And if anybody's familiar with Steve Blank or Eric Ries' talk of customer discovery, customer development, what we were doing was a form of customer discovery at scale. Another way to look at it is we were like mass spamming people. But it all just depends on which side of the API you're sitting. And this was really cool. So the reason we were sitting around and talking about these links that we were sending to people and that we were clicking on is that the click-through rate from people engaging on these was 17%. So if anyone's done online advertising, you'll know click-through rates are like basis points. You would normally expect to see like 0.1, 0.01, 0.2, something like that. You wouldn't expect to see 17% of people who got a message clicking on it. Normal range is much smaller than that. So we had a decision to make. We knew that +1 was very interesting. We knew that social analytics was going to be a big business. And I would say, in retrospect, in 2012, that's validated by companies like Buddy Media and Radian6 getting bought for hundreds of millions of dollars. We knew that was a big business. But when you have this like upwards of 10% click-through rate, we thought it was time to pivot. We knew that we could zoom out and just take that one feature of the app, throw away all the cool social analytics stuff we were doing, just focus on the fact that we were targeting people in the stream and sending them a message, because we knew that that was really just an advertising system in disguise. We had such a good algorithm for finding out how what you followed determined what you would like that we knew we could sell that. And so we decided to pivot. And this is the heart of what a pivot is. So we had a technology stack, we had who we were selling to, and we had what we were doing. The technology stack worked, so we knew that. Who we were selling to, the long tail idea, was something that in Silicon Valley is accepted as a given. And generally, you want to sell to the biggest market possible, right? No one would disagree with that. The part we were going to change was the social analytics part. We were no longer going to do analytics. We were going to do ads.